I didn't record yesterday, but let me update you on where we are with middle schoolers, specifically sixth graders entering middle school. Yesterday, one of my classes, there was a day. We're 4 weeks in, and routines were expected to follow. They are still struggling. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I just walked upstairs. But they are still struggling. Not only that, I've got some boys, one in particular. Boys are busy, and I know that. And I can deal with boys being busy and they can stand and move around. I'm okay with those things. But these were causing, the one particular student was causing disruption, which was influencing the other boys to participate. Boys that normally don't act up and don't do anything. This one particular student has caused issues here and there. Nothing consistent that I have to be like, he's going to be a problem, but it's consistent enough that I always have to stay on top of him, right? The quicker I rein it in for him, the better it is for him. But there's some days that even if I rein it in, he still wants to go at it back and forth with me. So I say all that to say, like, yesterday was a day, and I was exhausted yesterday. I couldn't even record because of the intensity of my mental exhaustion. But I ended up calling 3 parents. I sent 3 emails. 2 of them hit me back right away. One of them wanted a phone call because they were like, and they were supportive. The 2 were supportive. The third student's mom didn't call back, and I emailed her. But I know she's on top of the boy that her son. I know she is because I met her at that open house. She came in and he was very, very pleasant. He works really hard in my class. He's very dedicated, very consistent. She says he's very much an athlete and he enjoys it. And they travel all around the state and the country to do the sport that he wants to do. So he knows that, this is what we need, to stay on the track. So she never emailed back, but I have a feeling she got the email and maybe just forgot to email back. I'm not really sure. I don't feel like it warranted a phone call, but I also documented that I reached out to the 3 of them and 2 of them responded. And today was a much better day. I'm not as exhausted mentally because I didn't have to deal with that and the parents and calling and talking and then my other 2 classes on top of that. So today was a much better day. But I did want to tell you, we're 4 weeks in. Some of my students in the 6th graders overall are still having a hard time. I think I mentioned that in another video. But one class in particular, I'm going to have to, they are struggling with basic things. The other 2 are picking up a little bit quicker, slowly, but quicker. This class still don't understand the routine, the procedures, and I'm pretty consistent, and I try to remain consistent so they know what to expect from me. I don't like throwing curveballs and all of a sudden things are new to them. I try to introduce new things once a week. I'm going to introduce the reward system on the 5th week, only because we've been establishing who we are to each other. I've established who I am, how I run the class, routines and things. They've established, a little bit of flexibility and getting some of their homework done in class, me giving them extra time, us taking the time to do an activity that's not related to math or the content. So we've been doing a lot of that, and now it's time to enter the reward system. They've had enough practice, here we go, so that I don't have to consistently keep telling you over and over again the expectations every day because you've practiced them for 4 weeks. And now here's the system for what happens when we show up as we're supposed to every day versus what happens when we don't show up like we're supposed to every day. So that I'm not exhausted, super exhausted like I am. So there's a little bit about classroom culture, building those relationships. I'm in week 4 and just now introducing my reward system. The other lesson I did this week was student interviews. They interviewed each other. Students who don't like sitting next to each other or aren't particularly friends, I make them interview each other, and we model how to interview and talk to each other. Math talks, I started math talks, but I think we needed to wait because we're still getting to know each other and there's some funniness going on. But every week I've tried to introduce little concepts of classroom norms, building relationships, and classroom community. So we understand that we work together as a team. And so, I'll be sharing that. You can find some of these lessons, activities, and things that I do in my shop on my website. I know I'm explaining the videos and things to you and what that looks like. I can't really record in class. Maybe I can on one or two, but I haven't gotten there yet. So we'll get there with the introduction to how I effectively implement these things. And it's not a one size fits all, and it's not a 1 week you do everything. You introduce something weekly to them so that they have time to adjust, to learn, to acclimate to what it is. And that's what I've learned that has worked best for me in the past with a different age group. So I'm being flexible with this age group this year. Typically, I've worked with 8th graders and 9th graders, middle school, and then I've worked with 9th graders as well. But now I'm working with 6th graders. It's not a subject that I've worked with in particular before, so everything's new, and I'm still implementing classroom management and rapport and community building. It's just I'm doing it at a different pace, and I'm doing it one at a time. Wow, their video cut out. So I just want to say, in addition to introducing and learning how to build community, the 6th graders are still learning middle school routines, processes, all the other things they have to learn coming from an elementary school or an intermediate school, if you will, into a middle school setting with 7th and 8th graders. So they're still adjusting to those things as well. That's why I'm trying not to overwhelm them with lessons on community building, learning how to talk to each other. Like, I'm introducing things one at a time, once a week, sometimes twice a week, depending on the time, so that they have time to adjust. Only 4 weeks in, so here we go. I just wanted to say that before I concluded my video. All right, stay tuned for more.